Good evening, friends. Again, time for another YouTube album review. Decided to do one completely random. Here's a band I really like. I grew up listening to them. My brother likes this band a lot. My sister likes this band a lot. This is one of the few bands that the three of us can agree on. I have two older siblings, and they're musical somewhat. They aren't as serious about music as I am. I'm trying to make a career out of it, obviously, but I didn't see this particular album reviewed on YouTube. I only saw two of their albums reviewed by two different reviewers. One was the Ragata de Blanc album, and the other one was, of course, the huge, one of the best-selling albums of all time, biggest album of 1983, Synchronicity. This review is on this album, Zenyatta Mondatta. A nonsense title. It means absolutely nothing at all. Zenyatta Mondatta by the boys of Sting, Stuart Copeland, and Andy Summers of the Police. Let's get down to the review. The third Police album, Zenyatta Mondatta. Now, back in the day, I had this album on vinyl. My mom threw away all of my records, so I had to go. I don't have any of those old records I had in my youth anymore, but I had the Police albums I had on vinyl were Zenyatta Mondatta, Ghost of the Machine, and Synchronicity. For some reason, never got around to owning the first two, even though I know those are great records. So we're going to talk about Zenyatta Mondatta. It came out in 1980. It came out the birth of the 80s. Starts off with one of their biggest selling songs, known songs, Don't Stand So Close to Me. Huge on MTV. Remember the video back in the 80s? Yeah, this was a huge hit. One of the biggest Police songs ever. Remember the goofy video with Sting in the professor's cap and the cape? It's got a badminton racket, and they're in this library, and there's like a ladder that they're, I think, climbing and jumping off of, and they're in the classroom, and Sting takes off all his clothes. Okay, let's get on with that. So Don't Stand So Close to Me opens up really well. It's a great song. Yeah, I mean, we've all heard it, but yeah, it's a great song. It's a good pop song, good drumming from Stuart Copeland. I love the sound of the snare on this song as well as the rest of the album. It's good. Driven to Tears, song number 2, a song, political song. This is when they start, I think, when they get into politics on this album. It's a good, it's got that kind of like, kind of head bobbing, kind of, well, I don't know what you call it, but it's got a good rhythm to it. It's a very rhythmical song. And another killer on here. This is actually a really great song. I recommend, if you haven't heard Driven to Tears, you can look this up on YouTube. Actually, I know the whole album is on YouTube. I believe it's Zenyatta Mondatta and Ghost of the Machine. I think it's on one video. And like 2 full-length albums. I think it's those two back-to-back in one whole video. I didn't watch the video because I've got the CD, which is better quality, so, When the world is running down, you make the best of what's around. Another hit single from this, very catchy song. Simple guitar sound from Andy Summers, and basically this is another really good song. It's a killer song, one of my favorites on here. I really do like When the World is Running Down, you make the best of what's still around. Pretty well known song. This was another hit from the record. But yeah, it's definitely a very winner in my book. Going to song number 4, Canary in a Coal Mine. Now, Canary in a Coal Mine, it's got this simple, it's got 2 guitar parts on it that Andy Summers doing. It's got this simple strumming part and this little picking part, and the drumming that Stuart Copeland does is amazing. I like his drumming quite a bit on this. And Sting's voice, sounds great. Good bass on this as well from Sting. So Canary in the Coal Mine is very catchy, very upbeat. You'll want to dance to this. I'd say this is the dance song on the album. Number 5 is Voices in My Head. Slower pace tempo song. I like some of the guitar things that kind of like, I guess you call them noodlings, maybe, that Summers is doing. And really it's just the chorus. And then after they sing the chorus for about 3 times, I think, you hear like this African tribe that sounds really cool. They're going, chop, chop, chop. I love that. I just think that sounds so cool. And I first heard this on vinyl and it sounded great. And Stewart's drumming on this. I mean, he does like some like sick, like what sounds near impossible stuff on the drums. Like some of his probably the best. Probably my favorite drumming is on this song that he does. I can't even describe it. Just listen to voices in my head and pick up that drumming. I mean, it's like he's like a real Buddy Rich on this song. Bombs Away, a song actually written by Stewart Copeland. He actually wrote this song. Another political song, but this has got some really amazing drumming in this as well. It's an upbeat pop rocker, good tempo. And good harmony vocals from Sting. I guess he's harmonizing with himself. I'm not sure if Andy Summers is doing backup or not, but it all sounds like I guess Sting's double tracking the vocals. But yeah, Bombs Away is also very, very, very golden. Like Bombs Away a lot. I think this is great. Dee do dee da da da. Song number 7. Whoa, let me try that again. Hey, song number 7, dee doo 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 dee da da da. The other hit, another hit I should say, another hit, big hit from this is a good pop song with the drums and the guitar, and they all come together. And then during the verse part, Stewart Copeland singing on the rim of the snare, making it very minimal percussion. And then when they get to the chorus, it all comes back together. I'm sure you've heard the song. You tell me what you feel about da do 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 da da da. I think it's excellent. You know, I've gone through nothing but excellent songs so far. This is really a pretty stellar, incredible album, and probably my favorite Police album of the ones that I own so far. Behind My Camel is interesting. It's actually a composition by Andy Summers, and I read actually. Sting hated this song and he refused to play bass on it, so you're hearing bass and guitar by Andy Summers. It's an instrumental, very desert sounding. I mean, you sound like you're in Morocco when you hear this song. It's interesting, and this actually got like a Grammy Award for Best Instrumental back in 1980. I mean, the song is interesting enough. It doesn't completely do a lot for me. I think it's actually kind of one of the weaker ones, but it's not terrible. It kind of works, but it just doesn't completely hit me as a whole like most of these other songs do. Now it comes on to number 9. This is the real hit single right here. Man in a Suitcase. That song, Man in a Suitcase, is my favorite song on this album. I love that song so much. It's so great. All the musicianship on this is great. The harmony vocals, the playing. I mean, Stewart's drumming is amazing again. I mean, I love Stewart's drumming on this. I mean, I'm a drummer myself, and I can tell you that Stewart is one of my top 5 favorite drummers. You know, thanks to albums like these. Man in the Suitcase, that is my personal hit single. That is classic. That should be, I mean, that's just golden. That is, I mean, as great as these other songs are, that's the one that's really, that would be my Every Breath You Take on this album. Shadows in the Rain, slower song. Probably the slowest on the album. And it doesn't really hit me. It doesn't really get off the ground. It's just kind of like, this the whole time. I just never really cared for Shadows in the Rain. Definitely the weakest. I mean, I'm not really sure if it really fits that well as much as the rest of the record does, but it's okay. And then it ends with a great instrumental. Now, the Police have had some pretty cool instrumental songs, you know, like Flexible Strategies and what was it called? Shangri-La, I believe. B-side songs from Ghost in the Machine. This, The Other Way of Stopping, is another composition written by Stewart Copeland. Very percussive, and then there's like guitar and pretty simple guitar and bass work on this, but really the drums are what really stand out in this song. But it ends the album perfectly. It's good. I like the fact they ended on instrumental, and I'm glad it was my boy Stuart who wrote this. One of Stuart's finest works, I think. Some of his drumming, again, just like the drumming on Voices of My Head, the drumming's incredible on this song. I mean, the drums, I can't, you know, no complaints on the drums. This is top-notch drumming. I mean, Stuart is the master on the drums. I mean, that guy can just about outplay a lot of some of my heroes, even, you know, drum heroes. That's, you know, there you go. That's my review for Zenyatta Mondatta by the Police. Third album, 1980. I'm gonna give it a grade. Whew. Pretty easy. That's a pretty easy one to grade. Well, I love this record. I really think this might be my favorite Police album. It's definitely my favorite one that I've owned. As of right now, the only ones I have on CD are this one and Ghost in the Machine. But I intend to get the other three because they're all worth having. You know, Synchronicity being my least favorite, but that's for another review, I suppose. This is pretty easy. This album gets an easy A. This is a complete gold piece of an album. This gets an A. I love it. I just love this record. Yeah, I mean, most Police fans, I mean, you probably already have this album. If all you have is the best of, like Every Breath You Take, the singles, or the classics, whichever one of those you have, just go ahead. You can find this used. I left the price tag on. It says like, what, $5.99, so I paid like $6 for this at the half-price bookstore. But I see this used all the time. You can get all, I mean, you see tons of Synchronicity if you don't already have Synchronicity, but just get this record. I can't recommend it enough. This is a classic album. A great piece of work by the Police. Zenyatta Mondatta, yeah. Love it. 1980 gets an A. Great work from Stuart, you know. Album cover's pretty simple. I think it's kind of cool. They're all looking off in different directions. And it looks like, you know, with the colors, the big triangle, and looks like they're kind of singing a pyramid with the sunset. I kind of like it. I like the way the Zenyatta Mondatta is written out. You know, just little things like that I think are cool. Thanks for watching the review. Thanks for watching my Police review. I'm doing album reviews again until I get burnt out and take a hiatus, I guess, because that's usually what happens. But yeah, I'm glad to be the first reviewer to review Zenyatta Mondatta. Alright, hope you liked the review. Thanks, guys. I've got some other ideas, and I'll be seeing you on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, comment, tell me what you thought of the Police, Zenyatta Mondatta, whatever. Alright, I'm out of here for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next YouTube go-round. Good night, everybody. Rock on.